Hi, this is Steve from Field Notes again, and we're
Hi,
here.
I'm Bryan. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. We're here to talk about another film as part of one of the limited editions. And what edition is this, Brian?
This is the mile marker edition, FNC 42. And what was it? Sorry, go on.
Is it from last year? Is that the?
Yeah, this was spring 2019, I think. I'm not.
Yeah, and so we thought we'd just talk about this film, which was a. We can go back to the beginning here, but
Yeah, it's a pretty short one.
yeah, it was fairly simple in concept, but difficult in execution. So we came up with a bunch of different ideas. This edition had to do with like road trips and mileage and being on the road. And one of the ideas that we had was we liked those signs that you could that sit on the side and say lane closed ahead or just give warning signs. And we started looking into like how could we rent one of those and actually put it up somewhere. And
Rather than just do it fake, rather than fake it, we wanted to actually have the sign on a road somewhere.
yeah, and we found out that they don't. We were going to do it in Chicago, and we found out that most places, the city wasn't too keen on putting up an advertisement for a notebook on a busy highway, and so we had to sort of start looking around. This was out near Rockford, right?
Right, yeah, this was, you talked to Dan Barron again, right? Our old friend who used to do some printing for us in Freeport, and he recommended a stretch of road between Rockford and Freeport on I-20, right?
Yeah, and I had actually shot a personal piece sort of right around the corner from, if you go down that road where the yield sign is, I had shot on a farm there the year before for like a personal short film project, and so I knew that stretch of road.
Right, and we wanted it to look like a split lane interstate without, we wanted access to it. It needed to have crossroads and things, and this kind of fit the bill. It was a pretty major looking road without having toll booths or clover leaves or anything like that.
Yeah. And so we reached out to a couple of companies. One place, the closest they had those signs for rent was going to be in like Indianapolis or something, and it was going to be a nightmare to tow it all the way up. And we found this company was it in Rockford?
It was near Rockford, yeah. I was going to say, I remember the name of the company and I remember the name of this guy here, but I don't want to say either of them because we were kind of asking them to do things they probably shouldn't have done.
Yeah. And so we reached out to them, and they were sort of game for renting this to us for a day. The problem was, like with all films that we do sometimes when we have to shoot outside, this was going to be like the spring edition, but we had to shoot it in like March.
Yeah, it was pretty, yeah, maybe even before that. It was pretty, yeah, it was cold, still cold and wintry out.
Yeah, and so when I called them, they said, well, these things run on solar power. And so none of the batteries are charged because we usually don't use them much in the winter because there's not much sun in the Midwest. And so they said, well, I don't know how much power it's going to have, but we can put one out in the sun and have it ready for you tomorrow. And luckily it had enough juice by the time we got out there. So
we just needed a few minutes. We didn't want to leave it set up all day or anything.
And so then originally we got to the place, we got there, and Bryan has a hitch and on your...
Yeah, right. I'd planned to tow it out there and set it up ourselves. And it turned out it was much bigger and heavier. Yeah.
And the guy who was renting it and setting it up for us said, like, no, I don't know if I'd trust your car taking it 20 miles away. And so we asked if we could hire him for like, I don't know, an hour and drive it up and help us set it up and then come back for it and take it away.
Which made it a lot easier actually, but it also we had looked at the manuals for the Wanko message board and everything and like learned how to program it and everything, and I was excited about messing with it. And I do get to, there's a scene here of me typing on the keyboard, but I think we were just faking that. They had it pretty much set up when we got there.
Yeah, I think they had asked specifically what we wanted on it.
Right.
And so it was all kind of set up, but
I was kind of upset with the letter spacing, like the word spacing is a little weird on it, and I would have centered it better, but then in retrospect, it's probably better that it's a little wonky. Actually, wait, it's going to show it right here. I don't know. But yeah, like the words aren't all exactly centered right, but I guess that's the way it should. Yeah. But that looks more authentic, I guess, to have it kind of random like that.
And we weren't, I don't know if we should say that it wasn't entirely legal.
Well, right, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think having them involved helped because at least we knew we were doing it safely at that point, and it was really only set up for, there was like a highway patrol station like a quarter of a mile past that, and so we were so worried, like there were so many police cars driving by, but no one's, I mean, our message was only flashing for a few minutes, so there was pretty low risk there. We were kind of more worried about like a field nut. I never noticed those barrels bounce right there.
Yeah, they move when the truck drives by.
But we were more worried about someone driving by and seeing it, but if that and posting it on the internet or something. But if that had happened, it would have actually been pretty funny.
Yeah, yeah.
And we went out. Erica was with us, right? It was just and Matt too, right?
Too,
there were the four of us. So I don't think Erica's probably not in the video. Matt and I made those vests using the field notes. We have the shop signs that we give to our retailers to hang up in their shop, and we just use the screens from that to make those vests. They have field notes on the back and the Dime Novel logo on the chest. So those are some nice artifacts. Actually, go back to freeze. Can you freeze it at 11 seconds? You can see on my boot there. I guess a little farther. Right there, on my boot there, you can see some yellow paint from the utility video that's still all over the floor in the storeroom.
I didn't know that. Huh. That's funny. All in all, we were probably out there for just like, well, we had to wait for him.
Yeah, we had to stand there and wait for him for about a half hour, which was
camped out because we weren't sure when he was going to come back out. And then as soon as he came out, we were like, go, 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 go. And then we had said like, hey, can you drive off for like 20 minutes and we'll call you? And then we shot it as fast as we could.
Yeah. And we were kind of worried about the sign showing up well because there was, the sky was real bright, but it actually came out pretty much perfect. Yeah. And that's great.
I think I had to do a little digital fudging to sort of bring the contrast
increase the
down
contrast
a little
bit.
bit.
Yeah.
So, but it
And I remember I took cell phone pictures of it, and I was excited to have the photos, and I looked at them, and the way it refreshes, it's like a TV. Like it would just be a few dots would be lit up on my cell phone.
Yeah.
Which actually around that same time, there was on the Eisenhower or the Kennedy, there was a big, like they have those signs on the Kennedy, and there was one that said, "Don't take a picture of this sign." And of course I did, and the same thing happened. That was kind of a weird Chicago DOT Easter egg, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that last show.
The last shot, we just took your car.
Yeah, that was my car on the Kennedy.
You rigged it up and just did a big loop on the highway.
That's the cleanest my car has ever been, which isn't saying much.
You were getting off on Armitage there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it was a pretty simple one, but it took a lot of work.
Yeah, it was all planning, right?
Yeah, and some of these are just all logistical challenges, and this one certainly was. So it was fun, though. It was fun being out there. I drove past there a couple of months ago for some reason, or whatever time it stopped meaning anything, but I drove past our corner there.
Yeah.
And it fond memories.
Well, we saw... Actually, when we were driving off after shooting, he was setting up the same sign somewhere else, like a little while later. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think we stopped I think we had a lot of Mentos that day, I remember. I think we stopped for more Mentos, and then as we were driving through Rockford, we saw the same guy.
Yeah.
Setting up a sign for probably an actual appropriate use.
A real thing, yeah.
Yep.
The monitor and the computer thing I wish we had a better shot of that, but that little, I mean, you can kind of see it there at the bottom, but.
Yeah, it's like a lockbox that.
Yeah, it's like a.
It is kind of cool. I know how to do that, so I could go find one and break open the lockbox and put whatever message I want up now.
There's Matt behind the sign right there, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that was this film. I guess we've we've talked enough about it. Yeah, thanks for watching another one of these, and hopefully we'll be back fairly soon and have more babbling to do about another film.
Mile marker is still available from fieldnotes.com.
There we go.
Fieldnotesbrand.com. You'd think I'd know our website by now.
We can end on a tag. Well, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks a lot.